Every personal trainer wants to know why some clients stay while others only stay for 3 weeks. The answer isn't your programming, it's psychology. I spent 18 years in the Army watching who keeps going when things get hard. And when I was at Harvard, I studied why. And what the science shows predicts long-term success far more than fitness, motivation, or discipline. All comes down one question you can ask your clients today. In this video, I'll show you exactly what that question is, what your clients' answers mean, and how to use that information to increase your retention immediately. When I was going through flight training, we had an assessment on day 1. Before we got into the cockpit, before we did any physical training, they sat us down and asked us one question. The question was, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you can complete this program? And I remember thinking, that's a weird question. Shouldn't you be testing our skills? But they weren't testing our skills. They were testing our belief. Because here's what the military has learned over decades. Your belief in your ability to succeed is a better predictor of success than your actual ability. If you believe you can do it, you probably will. And if you believe that you can't do it, you probably won't. That's called self-efficacy. Years later at Harvard, I studied this exact concept. And it's the #1 psychological factor that determines whether somebody sticks with something hard or they quit. And I realized personal trainers need to be asking this question too. And more importantly, here's what their answers actually mean. In your first session with a new client, after you've talked about their goals, their history, ask this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you can stick with a fitness routine for the next 6 months? Not do you want to, not are you motivated to. How confident are you that you can? And here's the critical part. Most trainers hear this question and think it's about motivation. It's not. It's about belief. And their answer tells you everything. Now let me show you what to do with each type of answer. A score of 1 to 3 means this client does not believe they can succeed. They might be motivated to do it right now, but deep down, they think they're going to fail. Maybe it's because they've failed before. Maybe it's because they don't see themselves as fitness people. And maybe it's because they've surrounded themselves by people who don't believe in them. But whatever the reason is, they're starting from a place of low belief. And here's what you need to know. If you don't address this, they will quit. And it's not because of reprogramming. It's because they're waiting to prove themselves right. Here's how you handle a low self-efficacy client. First, don't push harder. This makes it worse. They already don't believe that they can do it. Making it harder just confirms their fear. Second, focus on tiny wins. Absurdly tiny wins. For instance, instead of let's train for 4 days a week, let's nail down 2 days a week for the next month. Just 2. Why? Because every time they hit that tiny goal, you're building evidence that they can do this. And that's massive for them. Third, reframe their identity with every session. When they show up, you showed up. That's what people who succeed do. When they finish, you said you would do this and you did it. You're proving to yourself that you can. You're not just training their body, you're rebuilding their belief. A score of 4 to 7 means this client is uncertain. They think they can, but they're not sure. They're waiting to see what happens. And here's the thing. These clients can go either way. If things go well early on, they'll build confidence and stick around. However, if things go poor early on, they're going to quit. First, front load the wins. Make the first 2 to 4 weeks as successful as possible. Easy workouts they can crush, small goals that they can hit, and constant positive feedback. You're building momentum. Second, normalize challenges before they happen. Say, some weeks are going to feel great, and some are going to feel hard. It's completely normal, and it doesn't mean you're failing. You're preemptively closing that confidence gap. Third, check in on them regularly. After a month, Remember when you said you were a 5 out of 10? Where would you say you are now? If they're a 7 or an 8, you're winning. Keep going. You're doing it right. But if they say 4 or below, you're going to have to readjust. These clients are in the middle. It's your job to tip them toward confidence and not doubt. A score of 8 to 10 means this client believes they can. They might not know how to yet, but they believe that with you, they can figure it out. These are your dream clients. They're resilient and they handle setbacks well, and they stay long term. But do not get complacent. Here's how you coach high efficacy clients. First, you can push them harder. They can handle this challenge because they don't interpret it as you can't do this. They interpret it as this is hard, but I'll get there. Second, let them own the program. These clients want autonomy. Let them have some input. Let them adjust, and they'll stay longer because they feel in control. And third, do not ignore them. Just because they're doing well doesn't mean they don't need your attention. High self-efficacy clients who feel neglected will leave for a trainer who engages with them more. But overall, these clients are your foundation. They stay longer, they refer, and they succeed. So now you know what to ask, what each answer means, and how to coach each one. Here's why this one question changes everything. Most trainers assess fitness. They test strength, endurance, movement patterns, and that's important. But it doesn't predict retention. And you know what does? Self-efficacy. Here's the thing. If you don't ask this question, you're coaching blind. You think your clients are motivated because they're showing up. But they're showing up with a belief score of 2, and they're already planning their exit. This question lets you see what's invisible. And once you see it, you can address it. So here's what you've learned. The question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that you can stick with this for 6 months? Score of 1 to 3, low self-efficacy. Focus on tiny wins and rebuild belief. A 4 to 7, moderate self-efficacy. Front load success and normalize setbacks. 8 to 10, high self-efficacy. Challenge them, give them autonomy. Ask this question in your next session and your business will be changed. Now here's the thing. Self-efficacy is just one of 10 psychological factors that predict whether your clients stay or quit. And just like asking this one question, get a baseline and see where your clients are at, you should also know where you are and where your business is when it comes to retention. And because of that, I created a completely free retention calculator for fitness professionals. What is your retention rate and how much is it costing you? Again, completely free. Next week, I'm breaking down why your best clients, the ones who never miss a workout, why they are actually the most likely to quit. Hey, I'm Alisha, giving you the psychology info that nobody else ever did. See you in the next video. Keep crushing it. Peace.